6.5, consideration of presentation by UCCE of the Beneficial Burning and Land Stewardship Program, and the UC Extension will be coming up. Hello. Matthew Barnes will be leading this, doing the intro.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Matthew Barnes, Area Director, University of California, Cooperative Extension. I'm here this morning to introduce Ali Sung Jazernik, our new Beneficial Burning and Tribal Land Stewardship Academic Advisor. Ali's been with us for just about 5 months now, and her position is the first of 3 created by a larger initiative from the University of California. There's 3 positions throughout the state meant to engage with tribal nations throughout the state. Ali comes to us with a bachelor's degree in conservation biology from UCLA and a master's degree in environmental justice and ecosystem science management from the University of Michigan, where her graduate research focused on community-based participatory research and tribal partnerships. So with that, I will let Ali take it over.
Yeah, you have to talk into the mic.
Hello. Hi. Yeah, I'm Ali Sung Jazernik. Nice to meet you guys. As Matthew stated, I'm the UC Cooperative Extension, Beneficial Burning and Tribal Land Stewardship Advisor. A little bit about me, since I am new and just want to do a formal introduction, and Matthew already kind of went through some of that, but originally I grew up on Muwekma Ohlone territory in the East Bay area in Oakland. And I did my bachelor's degree at UCLA in Geography and Environmental Studies and Conservation Biology. And then I did my master's at University of Michigan doing environmental justice, behavior education, communication, and ecosystem science management, where I worked with the Sault Ste. Marie tribe in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, if you guys know where that is. It's a really beautiful place, really special for the tribe up there. Working on a co-management plan with the university and the tribe, and some of those negotiations and facilitations for those listening sessions. Some of my focus research and areas of experience, just a really broad overview, obviously Indigenous rights and self-determination. I had a really great Indigenous professor, Kyle White, who I learned a lot from, and kind of was able to take me under his wing and kind of show me a lot of just about cultural burning and about the tribes in general, and tribal sovereignty, and as well as data sovereignty. And I really worked with the community and listening and learning and hearing from them, and a lot about community-based participatory research, as well as the fire history and ecology. I also worked a lot in fire suppression policies, climate adaptation and resilience, and a lot of my other background work. And one of the reasons I think I was hired for this position was for regulatory support for the tribes with CEQA and NEPA planning, as well as potentially biological monitoring. And so that's a really broad overview. And the overall program goals and objectives. The overarching goal for this position is supporting tribal communities and building a more fire-resilient ecosystem that aligns with their social, economic, and cultural priorities, and a lot of that will be determined by the tribes. And I know this position has been in the works for the past year or so, but I really want to hear from the tribes and have them lead and determine what this role looks like going forward. And so a lot of what the next year will be going forward will be just establishing relationships and doing introductions like this. And then I have a needs assessment that I'll be doing, which will dictate kind of how the program looks. Again, we'll just be kind of going through and listening and learning from each of the tribes here, because there's so many, and having them kind of determine what this program will look like going forward, as well as hopefully fostering reciprocal partnerships. And I'm really wanting to that this role will be equal, and we all will be at the table determining what this looks like going forward for the university and the tribes here in Lake and Mendocino counties. And some of the work going forward, potentially down the line, will be organizing educational workshops and community events for the tribes and for community members at large. And from what I've heard so far and some of the support that some of the tribes are potentially needing is potentially pre and post fire monitoring, supporting culturally significant species and other tribal stewardship priorities. And that's just a small part, and that's totally going to be determined as I learn more and hear more from the tribes later this year. So that was a really broad overview, and I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of questions, and there's a lot to be discussed for this. And so, yeah, I can open it up to the floor or anyone.
Oh, you got it? Okay, well, thank you for that overview. I know, Matthew, when you started, we talked about tribal engagement and whatnot. I know that there's a very difficult task to burn on actual tribal lands, but I do know that the territories, when it comes to cultural artifacts and whatnot, so like different areas that the tribes have ancestral ties to, they work in those areas to do the burning and whatnot, and so I think that's where it's going to come in handy with the partnership on that. And then also later on we have a presentation by Tribal Eco Restoration Alliance, and I'm not sure if you met with them yet or anything like that, but they do a majority of that work. They're a nonprofit. Of course, everyone knows that. I'm just saying it again for the.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'll leave it to, I think, Supervisor Pyska, you have a comment?
I'm delighted to meet you. We have been working in collaboration with the Risk Reduction Authority with the local governments and tribal governments for many years, expanding capacity and working to also expand collaboration and co-stewardship, and I'm super excited that my Terra friends are here today. But I want to invite you to the Risk Reduction Authority meetings if you're able to. We have a slot it's the third Monday of the month, and we do have a slot for UC Extension to participate. It's very exciting to have even more resources to help bring the good fire back to the land. So thank you for coming, and thank you, Matt, for bringing her. I'm just beyond excited that you're here today and ready to join us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Supervisor Sabatier?
Yeah, no, welcome to the team, and I think that your goals are necessary goals for Lake County to reduce, mitigate all the fires that we've been experiencing. My curiosity, I guess, is, so we passed not too long ago, and maybe I'm overlapping things that shouldn't overlap, but we passed not too long ago the Community Wildfire Protection Plan, the CWPP. I think that's the acronym for it. And we had a kind of a fluid exhibit section, and we approved just not too long ago the Lake County Fire Protection District for their specific projects. As you work with all the different tribes throughout Lake County, will that potentially come out as an exhibit that can get added to the CWPP, so we are all aware of all the different projects and how to align our projects to work together rather than it being separated?
I don't know. I think I would say that it could be added. I know that the CWPP, I think, was just recently developed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know what the process would be to get that in there, but I think could definitely be something we can look at going forward. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You can connect with Terry Logston in our office. She's our climate resiliency officer, who's for the county's part been managing the CWPP.
Oh, great. Yeah, I think I might have heard. Yeah. It would be great to meet you.
Right. Wait. All right, she's here, and then we'll follow up, and I think in the risk reduction they might talk about that as well. Another thing just to add is that, like last year, there was an opportunity, and it ceased past because of the fire danger at times. We get those red flag warnings, but a lot of work for vegetation in general, for fuel reduction, but then there's also a lot of our tributaries have a lot of vegetation in them, and one of the best attributes or one of the best methods is to burn them, especially when we're looking at some of the permits that we have to deal with in regards to the state. And so since it's not a disturbance into the actual channel per se, the burning might come in handy, you know. So I think with that partnership with the other nonprofit and some others, I think that might be something we can do because they're definitely needed, you know, because of the flooding. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's great to see the work. I appreciate it, and thank you for the presentation.
yeah. Thanks for having me. And yeah, I'm definitely interested in fire and water and kind of those intersections and all of that. So thanks for having me.
all right, if there's no one else from the board, we'll open it up to the public. Anyone on Zoom? All right, well, thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.
All right.